this was written by both me and my friend who was also there. To start this story, there will need to be some necessary context. In our neighborhood, we have a swamp area with a railroad running through the area. Our neighborhood is also really sketchy and not exactly a great place to live, but it has a pretty average community aside from these things. So nice houses, but not fancy or anything. This also happened around 2 years ago, so this wasn't too recent, but also wasn't too long ago. Now to start this off, our friends' parents would sometimes get together and have a bonfire and roast marshmallows. We weren't really watched over and they let us do our own thing. So during one of the meets, FM, a mutual friend of myself and Beebe's, Beebe and I wanted to go walk the railroad and goof off next to the highway. Stupid, I know, but we were just having a good time, and we weren't thinking about the actual consequences. It was one of the rare times we were all together. It was 9 to 10 p.m. when we were out, and we finally decided to head back since our parents would go home around 11. We decided to take the railroad route back home. So we were walking, talking, and all holding our phones with the flashlight feature on because of how dark it was. Around that time when this all started, we were almost to the part where the swamp becomes more forested on the side of the railroad. I got a gut feeling that something wasn't quite right. There was just something that felt incredibly wrong. So I turned around and shined my flashlight on the reeds that were in the swamp on the side of the railroad. Quick note. There is a steep drop-off of rocks on the railroad before it meets a swamp. It's tall enough to where we have to climb up the side to get to the top of the tracks. When I focused my flashlight on the reeds next to the drop-off the tracks, I saw something inhuman. It had no facial features, just a smooth paper-white face with slight cheekbones showing. Its body was skinny and slender and terrifyingly long. If it had been standing instead of crouching in the reeds, it would have been maybe 6'5", 7 feet. The best mental picture I can give anyone is like that creepypasta rake, but with no eyes, ears, nose, or mouth. This creature quickly ducked back and retreated when I saw it, and I was just frozen in absolute terror. BB and FM both noticed me freaking the fuck out and the creature escaping. So we all started flipping shit and booked it to the nearest parking lot that we could find. It's right next to the trees surrounding the railroad track. This route through the warehouse and business parking lots was longer, but it had more lighting due to the streetlights illuminating the area. As we walked, all of us were losing our minds and panicking. It got so bad that BB decided to pick up a damn brick for self-defense. We panicked as we walked through the parking lots and crossed back into the neighborhood via a small pathway that leads to both the railroad, but also to the parking lots at the end of the street we live on. However, things only got worse as we walked down the street. There was shuffling and plants rustling that kept pace with us three. Maybe it was auditory hallucinations sparked by paranoia, but it felt too real at the time. We got back to the house that the rest of our friends were at and explained the story to them as we were calming down. More pieces of the timeline and story came together when we did this. BB said that while we were at the highway and joking around, they did hear some suspicious noises, but brushed it off and didn't say anything. They claimed to have heard more rustling like what we heard all on our way home. Another detail is that all of us had seen the creature and or the movement the creature made as it ran away. This just proved that I wasn't losing my mind or hallucinating. After this experience, we dubbed the creature as the Entity, and it became more of a joke as time went on. But this event is still one of the most terrifying ones I have witnessed out of all the sketchy things that went on in our neighborhood.